Hey guys, so welcome to another programming tutorial. And this one isn't in fact Qt specific at all. And in fact, you'll see I just have a plain C++ project open with no Q includes or anything like that. Q based includes. So this one is about arithmetical operators, um, logical operators, pretty much all the logical kind of side to programming. And in fact, much of what you'll see here can in fact be interpreted into pretty much any language that follows the same kind of control structures and logical structures and all that kind of good stuff. So yeah, so I always do these tutorials 3 times over because there's always something that I think of or whatever else. And so this is my third take, and I've already got the stuff written out, so it'd be a lot easier now. So I can just actually spend time explaining the stuff instead of just writing it out, because I kind of make mistakes when I'm having to write them out. So this should actually say arithmetical operators, but because all of these are mathematical operators. My mistake, but I'm going to leave it there. But these right here are mathematical operators. Now, this is also not under that category. We actually have another category called comparison operators. Although I would argue that they should be under logical operators, but it doesn't really matter. We'll just put them under what they should be under. They're called operands, by the way. So yeah. So okay. So we have the super basic ones, and I'm gonna fix that up. So the first one we have is the plus operator, and if you've done first grade maths, you'll know what that does. It's 1 plus 1 equals 2. That's what it's used for in this case. So if you say a plus b equals, a plus b, what does that equal? You'll produce the product of a plus b. The same thing with the minus sign. This one is a division sign, so a divided by b equals c, or whatever it equals. Don't get confused by these. These are used for comments, and in fact, if I remove that, it's probably making more sense. But I put these here so that the compiler will ignore all this stuff when I choose to compile in a minute with some code. This is a multiplication operator. It just says a times b equals product, whatever it is. These are increment operators. So what these do, and these are I think specific to C, Python, and some other languages. They aren't in VB.net as far as I'm aware. They could be, so don't flame war me, but I don't touch that stuff as little as I can anyway. I just feel it's just such a terrible language. It has so many down flaws, and I just don't like it. I don't have enough control. Maybe that's me being like a control freak, but I don't have nearly enough control over the way the program behaves. So, we've got these, and so what this does is it says, okay, a equals 1 currently. I don't want to write. This is the same as writing a equals a plus 1. It's just a really short-winded way of writing a equals a plus 1. And the same, in fact, the same applies exactly for the minus, the de-incrementation operator. And they do the exact same thing, but in reverse. Now, these ones are called Unary Operators. I can never say that right. These are quite important and shouldn't be confused with it's the way in which you use them is different. And again, this is probably like second grade math still. This signifies that we're dealing in the positive range of numbers. And in fact, if I don't put that there, if I don't put that there, I'm inexplicitly saying positive 200. And here I explicitly have to say if I want a negative number that I put a minus sign in front of it, because then it becomes negative. So these are positive and negative unary operators. And this is probably not the kind of tutorial you want to be following if you haven't done any kind of maths, because your understanding of logic has to be quite good. And if you didn't pass maths ever, which is kind of hypocritical of me because I didn't really pass maths, but I never really tried either. So if you don't understand basic logic and stuff, then this is not gonna be very helpful for you. If you do, and you're just here because you just want to understand it in a programming context, absolutely good. So now we have this is not even a comparison operator. This is an assignment operator, and in fact, these go under their own class of things, really. But In C++, this is an assignment operator, and assignment operators do just that. They assign things to variables. So we're starting with a variable a, and in fact I shouldn't have done this down the line because it probably makes it a little bit too confusing if you've never done any kind of programming at all. But we're saying here that a equals b, b equals 4. So we're assigning the number 4 to b, and then we're assigning the value of b to a. And if you're using a language like Visual Basic, they use what's called I don't know what the right terminology is, but it's basically in context operators. So the compiler kind of like detects the way in which you're using the operator and then assigns it a use specifically on that. So, for example, in Visual Basic, if I say if a equals 3, that's a logical operator. And if it's used as like, if I say a equals 3, so if there's no if or kind of logical check before it, then it becomes an assignment operator. In C++ and in the C language, we have an explicit operator, which is the equals operator, and it's a double equals sign, and I think that's a much smarter way of doing things. It allows for less confusion and all that stuff, and it becomes more important later on. So, does A equal B? Yes or no? Doesn't matter, but I've just said in this case, yes it does. Even though it doesn't up here. Actually, yes it does, because I've assigned... Okay, don't worry about that. So that's basically, that's like saying if A equals B. That's all that means, and that is like A does equal B. Hence, I'm assigning it. Now we move on to the logical operands. So, this means does not equal, and I don't know why I just did that, but anyway. This means does not equal A, does not equal 4. So, I could say, this is pseudocode, by the way. Well, not really even pseudocode, but does A not equal 4? And I can assign the value of... I should assign the value of A to be... If we're doing pseudocode, I think it's like something like that, but let's just keep it simple. A in fact does equal 4, so this statement becomes false. So we're just saying, does A not equal 4? Okay, it doesn't, so all good. So finally we have 2 more here, and then I'm going to add some more to this list as I go. I'm just going to pause the video, go to my cheat sheet, which I make before every video, and put some more in. So this one is the OR operator. So this is our OR operator. So what it says is that if A is equal to 4 or C is equal to 2, then do stuff. So if either of these become true at any point during our comparison, perform whatever we tell it to perform. If neither of these are true, then do nothing. But if one of them is, or if both of them are, then do something. And that's not a really explicit way of explaining this, because as soon as one of these becomes true, we'll perform our thing, we'll perform our function, which is why we should not get confused with an AND operator, with saying, like, with logical AND operators, because just because both of these are true, doesn't mean that it'll happen. As soon as one of them becomes true, it doesn't matter if the other one becomes true, because it'll still occur, regardless. So I think I've explained that enough. If A equals 4 and C equals 2, so once these are both true, then do stuff. Until then, do nothing. So that's pretty self-explanatory, and we use double AND because, well, I'll show you in a minute why we use double AND. And I'm just going to pause this and grab my cheat sheet. So I'm going to do some more in the comparison operators. So we have a few more, and these are probably from Year 7 maths, or grade 7, or whatever you have, wherever you're watching this. This is like super basic algebra. So A greater than B, A less than B, A greater than or equal to B, A less than or equal to B. So I'm going to explain these ones really quickly in case you didn't listen in class. That means if we put these in an if context, if A is greater than B, do something. If A is less than B, do something. If A is greater than or equal to, it's very important that you understand or equal to. So this means, in the really stupid way of saying it, like if anything greater than, so plus 1 of whatever A is, do something, but greater than or equal to, so if B is ever equal to or greater than A, and if B is ever less than or equal to A, do something, and so that's pretty much what that means. So I'm just going to pause this a few more times, and I'm just going to grab some more. That's pretty much it, and I think these can be applied to a lot of languages. So I'm going to show you some C and some C style specific operators that are extremely useful as far as time saving. And so we have addition assignment operator, which can look something like this. And so say we want to assign, much the way that we don't want to say A equals A plus 1. Say we want to assign, we want to add the value of B to A. Now, if you think about it, well, it should just be A plus B, but, right, like, you gotta say C equals A plus B, or whatever else. But say we want to make we want to make the A, like, what we're adding stuff to, plus whatever it is. And so, whoever designed C, I can't remember his name, the GNU guy, he decided that he would create something like this. So you can say C plus equals B. So that what that means is, okay, what's the current value of C? Now add B. And the same thing applies for, obviously you can always do the inverse of all these operators. So minus equals, it would help me like a type. B. Just going to go back really quickly, but I think that's pretty much everything. And in fact, that is everything. So, sorry about all the pausing and stuff. I'm just not really with it at the moment, but I really wanted to get another tutorial out. So I will be making part 2 right now, with actually using these in examples. I hope this was helpful, and I know that I sounded a little bit downbeat and whatever, and probably didn't kind of talk as well as I should or normally do. But anyway, so these are all the operators, and I hope you can apply these to languages that you're learning, and I'm going to show you in a C++ style context how these can be used. And in fact, I'm pretty sure it would be the same as in a C style context, because the things that were added to C++ are really not that different to C, until you get into things like lambda calculus and all that kind of stuff. So anyway guys, peace, have a good night, see ya.